What's up, people? I wasn't planning to make a video today, but then I just decided to do it because instead of going out, even though it's kind of blue skies, I like the idea of being in my pajamas at home. And I'm not feeling all that awesome, so probably I need some medicine. Here's some medicine. This came in the mail today. And it's not this beer, which I actually don't like. So let's see what it is. The purpose of this video, besides wasting your time, is to do a video response for Mr. Dude, who wanted me to answer, what is it? To talk about 5 things that nobody cares about my gaming life or facts or something, and I'll probably almost certainly talk about more than that, because I have more than that on a little list here. And it's going to take too long, and it's going to be boring. So, if you're still going to watch it, I hope that you have some kind of multitasking thing happening, or maybe something like what I'm about to bust out of this box. It's a little bonus footage to go along with the VR. I just recently finished watching the entire series of Breaking Bad, pretty much a marathon, like every day 4 episodes kind of thing, or more. And at some point, I mean it's not really a spoiler, but anyway, at some point, one of the characters drinks this blended scotch, and I've never tried this one, and I just happened to be out. So, as soon as I finished the series, I ordered a bottle of Dimple, which I don't understand. It's called Pinch, I think everywhere but the US, or maybe it's called Dimple everywhere but the US, one or the other, something like that. And he says, give me a Dimple Pinch. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just gonna, it's an unboxing. It's a Dimple unboxing. What does it say? Oh, I don't know. It says it's yummy. And this is, whatever. Let's get into it. It's a pretty basic box, but it's kind of a cool bottle. There's the inside of the box. Probably keep it in the box just because if it falls off the shelf, it'll be more likely to not break. Less likely to break. It's got wire on the outside of the bottle just because I guess that's something different. And 40%, 700 milliliters, specially selected, blended Scotch whiskey, aged 12 years, since 1627. That's pretty old. Now, just what are we at? 3 minutes and I haven't even done anything. So anyway, while I'm opening this up, I'll get into the list. I loved Breaking Bad, and I'm not sure that I'm going to get into Better Call Saul. It's just really slow. So we'll see. Maybe it'll pick up. But in the meantime, I'm watching, can you see, the rest of Warehouse 13. I finally gave in. Netflix has only had the first 3 seasons for the longest time, and I was like, you know, I really love this show, so I'm going to go ahead and buy the whole set. And I did, and it came, and yep, so I'm watching that now, and wow, this is slow motion. Oh, there we go. I want the whole thing off. Anyway, I'll get the rest of it later. Just, it's pretty cold, actually. Sometimes I like it on the rocks, sometimes not, but it's pretty cold anyway, so here we go. Yeah. Today's Valentine's Day. Yesterday was, not a good pouring technique, but oh well. There's the color. Fruity. What am I talking about? So, I will be enjoying some chocolate with my scotch and chocolate. Yeah. I don't want to block Warehouse 13 though. Yeah. So I got this chocolate from my boss, and it has green tea flavored chocolate. I don't like green tea flavored anything. I'm not very good at, I don't know. You know, I like almost all Japanese food, but green tea flavored things just don't do it for me. So, you know what? I can't multitask. I can't eat chocolate, drink scotch, and talk about stuff at the same time. So here's let me drink this first. Sheesh. Might make the video more interesting anyway. I need a shave. It's kind of nice to get a little bit of scotch on my mustache there, and I'm just gonna waffle. Screw it. You know, in Japan, it's very common, I guess just practically, this is the longest finger, and so it's really normal to use this finger for pointing at things and reading, and like people are doing this all the time in Japan. And I've been here now for so long, basically since 2001, with a Taiwan year in between. It doesn't affect me at all. And I have a video, an old video, and I was doing something and I did that, like that, and someone's like, he's flipping this off. Yeah, just let me adjust my glasses. I tell my students not to use that finger, basically, just to get into the habit of using this one, you know, because it's just better not to be, because, yeah, in the States we have a lot of, you know, passive-aggressive people who will do things like, oh, sorry, what? You know, anyway, or forget about it. What's happening? Right. So, thank you, Mr. Dude, for tagging me, and I don't know who started this. I wanted to say like pool of interest or lactobacillus prime or something. I don't remember. So somebody who knows, you can put that in the comments, and then maybe I'll add it in the description. Or not. Or maybe I'll just do it. I don't know. But whoever started it, good job. I'm just going to go down the list. So, this one I think a lot of people know. I bought 3 arcade cabs, candy cabs, and I think like less than 2 months later I gave them away. I'd given them all away. Something like that. Because even though I moved into a house, maybe 3 months, I don't know, with almost double the space. I had a pretty big apartment before. It was 3 bedrooms. You know, it's 2 people instead of just 1, and I can't just have games everywhere like I did before. And also I mean, it makes sense, but the stairway and the doors and stuff are not very wide, and that allows for more space in the rooms and stuff. So basically, if I wanted to have those on the 3rd floor, which is where the game room is, I would have had to really break them down a lot. And they weren't that expensive, and I just wasn't keen to do it at all. So I figured I would spread some joy, and I gave them away. I put it on Facebook. Hey, who wants these? And people came and got them. So they're gone. But I do still have 2 cocktail cabs, and I don't really have space for those either. So we'll see what happens. I did send out 3 boxes yesterday to Grub Gun and who did I send them to? Electric Adventures and Lloyd Retro Dreaming. So I made a little tiny bit of space that way, and I'm hoping to do some more. I'm making a box for Mr. Dude 206 right now, actually. Oh, and yeah, kind of a segue, I guess, is built into that. In my apartment, as I said, it was three bedroom apartment. Every single room, with the exception of the kitchen, had video games in it. I mean, even the bathroom had, you know, Game Boy and games in there. Of course, the living room, and then the dining room, and the bedroom I used for an office, the bedroom I used as a game room, and my bedroom with the bed in it. The whole closet was arcade stuff. It was awesome. But yeah, I'm married now, so it's kind of hard to do that kind of stuff unless I, you know, get another apartment. I was joking about that with, I don't remember, Jeremy or Keith, one or the other. But who cares? We go on. Tetris. When I was in high school, I considered myself to be kind of hot shit. I don't think so as much now, because I've gotten older and realized that I'm not all that special. But, you know, winning math and spelling contests and being in sports and whatever, you know, probably I was just insecure and wanted to think highly of myself. Kind of like now, like most people, I reckon. I don't know. But I was in the newspaper a lot. I was in theater and stuff, and it was a really small town. So people knew me. That was normal. I went back for some reason to visit my high school. Something like, I graduated in 94, so it must have been 10, maybe 10 years later. 7 years? I don't know, something like that. And someone recognized me. I mean, one of the students. The teachers would recognize me, the ones that were left, but one of the students recognized me. Some, you know, when I was in high school, he would have been like 7 or 8 or something, right? I don't know. Anyway, he's like, are you? He didn't say soft otaku, obviously. Are you? And he said my name. And I was like, yeah. How do you know about me? And he's like, because we've been trying to beat your record on Tetris for the longest time. And yeah, now I remember. It was 7 years. I remember because the computer in the physics classroom had Tetris on it, and we played with the keys. And I didn't even remember this, but apparently I had the high score on Tetris, and it was 7 years I had the high score on Tetris, and they still used that same computer, which is amazing. But not anymore. Some little high school jerk-off broke my record, so now I don't have any reason to be remembered. I think I might have the third best shot put or something, but maybe not now after all this time. Oh my head, but what a way to be remembered as the dude with the Tetris high score after all the other stuff I worked so hard at. Like, yeah, you're the dude with the Tetris high score, and that's gone. So another thing, video games. I played Mario Kart 64 loads when I was in university, and I was good at it, but my friends, 2 of them anyway, 3 I guess were probably better. I think they played more, but they're just better. But I was pretty good. And so when I came to Japan in 2001, I still had, good muscle memory going, and the N64 was still not too old. And I was at a bar. It was a karaoke bar, and totally not the smartest decision of my life, but I was hanging out with these random Japanese people that I totally didn't know, and they're like, hey, you want to hang out with us? We're going to go do whatever. I was like, yeah, because I was very much in a stage in my life where I was just trying to experience things and just, it's about the journey kind of thing. And so I want to say that the person driving wasn't wasted, because generally I'm really good about not getting in a car with someone like that. Or maybe like they had a designated driver. So I want to give myself the benefit of the doubt on that. I don't know. Don't get in a car with somebody who's been drinking. Literally, I had a cousin die. Wow, I'm just going all over the place. While I was in Taiwan. So last month. Because the dude driving, it was icy roads, but he was drinking. And that's it. Game over. And he was like 20 something. So if you get nothing else out of this video, get that. And if the person drinking gets pissed off because like, oh, he says, I haven't had that much, or she says that. I had a Buddhist priest say that to me once. Oh, it's fine, get in the car, I haven't had that much to drink. A Buddhist priest, I tell you. Yeah, I walked home, and she was pissed, but that's because she was pissed, you know what I mean? Or pissed up. Just don't do it, it's not worth it. If somebody's going to get angry at you for being careful like that, it's not worth it. It's not worth their friendship. They can apologize to you the next day, you move on, or they don't, and you move on. But it's just not worth the risk. So take their keys if you can, or you drive. Or if you're wasted, neither of you drive. I'm going to stop preaching now. Mario Kart. So anyway, we ended up going to like a convenience store, getting some beers, and then going to one of their houses, which I don't reckon it was so dangerous, but I don't know these people. I'm not small, but still, there are more of them than me. But it's Japan, right? And I was probably throwing caution to the wind in a lot of ways at that time. Anyway, we played Mario Kart at their house. And I destroyed them repeatedly, like over and over. And they're just like, how do you do that? And I say that because now, and you can see it on my channel, I played his, I'm not that good at it. I can't stand the N64 controller anymore. Like, I hate it. And, but, I used to be good. So there's that, and that's one of the reasons why my gamer tag and stuff is Mario Karter, because that's, a memory for me. So next, this will be quickish. My first video game machine was a Texas Instruments. I think the numbers are TI-99 4A. I could be getting that wrong, and I played it in my bedroom on a bunk bed, the top bunk, and I had a little, about this big, about as big as my head basically, a little bigger, black and white TV with knobs, And I was just so happy to have that. And it had cartridges, right, which I loved about it. And I played Parsec and Munchman and Car Wars and what else? Alpiner. And there's a bunch of other games I can't remember. I never played the cassette games. We had that, but I never played them. I don't think I understood how it worked. What else? I also had a Commodore 64 after that, and I upgraded to a color TV. And my dad and I played that quite a bit. We each had our own. And we played Lode Runner the most. We also played Blue Max and Zaxxon and Pit Stop 2 a lot. But yeah, lots and lots of Lode Runner. I think we made some levels as well. So that was a good time. Lode Runner and Championship Lode Runner. That's a lot more fun if you play like against somebody for score and stuff because it can be a bit slow. But it's a good puzzle game. Good puzzle platformer, I guess. And then after that, I finally got a Nintendo Entertainment System, and I was so freaking happy. My dad said I should get a Genesis because it was like newer technology, but I tried the Genesis, and at the time, yeah, I've talked about this before, but when I tried it, I think that the controller that I used in the store was just worn out from all the kids trying it, and the buttons were really mushy, and so I was like, nah, I don't care if it has better graphics, I cannot stand this controller. Now, I like the Mega Drive Genesis controller, so I'm sure it was just that particular one. But anyway, it didn't matter. I was super happy to get an NES, and most of the kids had that, so it was easier to trade games back and forth and stuff. And I had gotten up to like 40 or 50 games, I think. Definitely 30, upwards, more than 30 anyway. And I have no idea what happened to it. This was in high school. I don't know if I loaned, I want to say I loaned all those games in the console to someone, and then he just never gave it back. Another possibility is we had a van with a TV in the back, and it was like all the stuff was up there, and I would play it in the back seat while my dad was driving to meet his girlfriend. And it's a tiny possibility that it just got left in there when he sold the van. I don't know, but it was gone. But by that time, I was kind of in a place in my life where I was really focused on girls and the SAT and going to college and my car or my truck. So, I don't know. I don't think there were any super valuable games in there, but I don't know because I don't really remember. I could probably name 15 or so, but oh well. NES story, when I was in, let's see, how old was I? Junior high school-ish. I went through a period where I would get up in the morning, and I already had to get up pretty early to go to school, but I'd get up early enough so that I could play one season game, and I always played as the Seattle Seahawks. One season game with the Seattle Seahawks, and you played to the Super Bowl, Tecmo Super Bowl. And I was good at it. It was not a hard game, but sometimes that game would cheat. Like sometimes it would just like have a fumble, and then somebody would be like light speed across the screen. It just obviously was cheating. And I don't know if that was a bug or if that was built in the programming or what. And so I had one game where it was just like down to the wire, and then basically like the last Super Bowl. Not to say anyone cheated, but. And it was just, I was so angry because I lost the game. I immediately hit reset so that the game wouldn't save and I could try again and have a perfect season. And then I punched my bedroom door really, really hard. I have a bad habit of punching things, not people, things, when I get super mad. So I have like a, I don't know if you can see it, a scar right there. That's not from my door. That's actually from an elevator. A long time ago, a girlfriend punched me in the face 3 times because another girl hugged me, and I was like, I didn't hug her back, but watch out for jealous girls. I didn't marry that one. So yeah, and then there's a little scar here, because I punched, you can't see it, but I punched the roof of the dugout when we were playing softball. But yeah, I'm a late bloomer. I'm still growing up. So hopefully I'll live a long, long life, and that's just, well, I don't know. Whatever, what was I on about? Right, so I put a hole in the door, and that's not good. But at that point, you're like, well, now there's a hole in the door, so what does it matter? So then that just became the punching door. I always wanted a punching bag, I never got one. So when I got mad about something, I would just punch the door. And that door, man, yeah, it had a lot of holes in it and a lot of just punch marks. But I don't know, maybe it was good way to get rid of stress. Another time, this is not on my list, but whatever. Similar in that vein and not having to do with video games at all. One of my stepmothers, kind of went through a string of them. She was alright, but she was trying to sort of assert her authority, and I was already, how old? 14, I want to say? 15? 16. And she woke me up on a Saturday morning really early, and I was super busy in high school, so when I was sleeping, it's like, you better let me sleep. Because I really didn't sleep that much during the week, like not enough. And out of nowhere, like I had no warning this is going to happen, she yells up the stairs and she's like, come down here and chop some wood or whatever, which I like chopping wood. It wasn't a big deal, but it's just like the way she said it. She was yelling at me because I didn't hear her the first time, whatever. And I was just not okay with the way that it all went down. And she's like, well, your dad told me to tell you. I'm like, well, first of all, he could have asked me himself. And if you just told me the night before, I would have got done. But you don't need to talk down to me that way. It's not the way to ingratiate yourself to your stepson. Who, by the way, that same stepmother bought me Super Mario Brothers 3, which was a good way to ingratiate herself to her stepson. I don't even know if I'm using that word right, but I'm going to say I am. That was cool, because I had lost my original copy of it, and so then I had it again. Yay! Of course, I don't know where it is. I lost it again. But anywho, I wish I would have just left it sealed. But yeah, so I was so angry that before I chopped the wood, which I mean that in itself is a good way to relieve stress, chop and stack. But I took an aluminum softball bat, and I had like a Red Ryder radio flyer. That's what a Red radio flyer wagon, and I basically took the bat to it and turned it into scrap metal. I mean, it was a lot smaller when I was done, and man, that felt really good. And I was totally thinking of her while I did it. But yeah, she'd also walk around the house wearing like see-through lingerie, and she was a little older and a little, let's just say I wasn't really interested in seeing that. And she would sleep naked with the door open. One time her daughter called, and she was at a party, and she wanted me to lie and say that she was staying at a friend's house, or she wanted to actually talk to her mom, so I went to get her mom, and she was asleep naked. And that would have been really embarrassing for both of us. So I just said, you know what, I'll tell her in the morning. Yep, I got in trouble for that too. And I didn't have the heart to be like, well, you were butt naked on the bed, and I just couldn't. Woo! Waffle! Yep. I didn't know the word waffle before I started YouTube. I couldn't understand why people said their channel had waffles. Now I know. Next. Again about the NES. When I was in university the second time, at some point I decided I needed an NES again. So I bought one, and I don't remember how this worked. I also had a Sega Nomad, which was awesome. Used to play Monopoly on that a lot, and some other stuff, plugged it in the TV and played with people. But anyway, at some point I got an NES and some games. There was like a little game store in the town where I was at school. And I had my own room. I was a resident advisor, which I hated because I was supposed to like enforce rules that I didn't really care about. Like, hey, you can't drink because blah, blah. You can't have girls in your room after blah, blah. So I pretty much sucked at that job because, anyway, I didn't do it anymore. I moved into someone else's house and built the upstairs so that I could live there. But while I was living there, I would just leave my door unlocked, and my friends, a lot of my friends would just, they knew that, and they would come just when I wasn't home, go in, help themselves to deer jerky that my dad had made and sent, and eat deer jerky and play my NES. And so it was awesome because I would come back and there would be, my friends would be in my living room, it's a dorm room. They'd just be sitting there playing NES and eating my jerky, and you know, I just felt like, oh, I'm so popular or whatever, I don't know. Yeah, but it was fun. It was good times, good memories. And during that, one of those friends had a girlfriend who thought like video games was just not mature. And they were kind of in a rough spell in their relationship. And when she finally broke it off with him, which I think he's glad for now, but when she finally broke it off with him, she said that was the straw that broke the camel's back. She's like, you were in Tony's room playing Nintendo. You're in college. You're supposed to be studying or spending time with me. That's so childish. So I think I did him a favor, actually. Yeah. Grebgun, that's the dude who was the pastor at my wedding. Yeah. Anyway, let's see here. I got all those. We're moving right along here. It's only like an hour, right? Oh, wow. Yeah, and shoot, I only have one more thing, and it's only almost 24 minutes. The last thing is kind of boring, but when I was in high school, I took a computer programming class, and I really liked it. And I wanted to continue to learn. We just did basic, and what else? We did a lot of different programs, but by the end of the, I guess it was a semester class, I had written, I don't remember the names of the games, but I'd written color programs with sounds and music and stuff for some board games, and I think I did blackjack and 5-card poker, and I was really proud of those because I spent a lot of time, and they worked. I mean, they worked. And I made the music myself, and you know, it was really something that I was proud of. And somewhere I think I still might have the discs for those, but I don't know how to run them. I've now forgotten most of how to program in BASIC. And I would have continued on with computer programming and maybe even looked into it as a career. Except for the fact that there were two really nerdy guys I mean, nice guys, don't get me wrong. In fact, one of them, I used to go to his house during lunch breaks and play Bomberman on the TurboGrafx. And he was like the only kid in town who had a TurboGrafx, and we had 4 people playing Bomberman. It was awesome. Right, so yeah, cool kids, but I'm just nerdy in the sense that they were really into that kind of stuff. And also just nerdy, generally, socially. But they were both already into computer programming, and so they knew so much about BASIC that sometimes the teacher, who was also my math teacher, would ask them questions about what, coding stuff, and I can't compete with that. I want to be the best if I'm going to do something, right? And not so much now. I've given up hope on that kind of. But at the time, I just felt like if these guys are this much better than me, why bother? There's going to be a lot more people out there that are way better. And that's not necessarily the right attitude to have, but at the time, that was my thinking. So, yeah, that's like a whole bunch more than 5 things, but it's also probably not very interesting. So, thanks for watching. I think I'm going to do a pickup video after this, and whatever. So, yeah, now I'm trying to think if there's anything that I forgot to talk about. I don't know. My wife right now is playing the newest Infamous game, which of course I can't remember the name. Whatever. Something. Yeah, with the girl. And she's really gotten pretty far into it, which I didn't think she would. I got tired of it pretty fast. I just felt like it was too repetitive, and you're in the same place like all the time. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan, but at the same time, for the price for a current gen game, yeah, it's good, especially because I got it on PSN Plus for free. Right, I'm gonna stop now because I need to stop. Thank you for watching, and check out Mr. Dude 206's channel, and check out Grubgun's channel, and Lactobacillus Prime channel, and Polaventris' channel, and Electric Adventures channel. I would say Lloyd Retro Dreaming's channel, but he's taking a break or a detour or something. I don't know. Love you, Lloyd. Yeah. I did laundry today. Did I already tell you that in Japan, Valentine's Day is for guys to get stuff, and then a month later is White Day on March 14th, and the guys give stuff to the girls? And yeah, I don't know. My wife made me a heart-shaped. Well, she made a cake, and you cut it, and it makes little hearts. And she gave me these, Quick Milk Magic Sipper straws. These are made in Hungary. It's not even Japanese at all. Do not cut sipper. Place sipper in glass of milk. Drink through sipper and enjoy. So you stick that in a glass of milk and drink through it, and it makes it vanilla flavored. I may add vodka and Kahlua to that and make it a vanilla Caucasian. I don't know. Anyway, so it was kind of a low-key thing. But she worked through the night, and then she came home, and she made my cake, and then she played video games, and now she's sleeping, although I've been talking kind of loudly, so maybe she's not. I don't know. Cheers! I think I'm going to watch some Warehouse 13 now, because she doesn't like it, and it doesn't have Japanese subtitles, so good time to watch it while she's sleeping. Bye-bye.